Hello humans! Welcome back. It's time for another Fairest Run of All video. I am Jen, your Run Disney bestie, and I am very eager to talk to you about my Walt Disney World Marathon weekend costumes. I am doing fake Goofy this year. I didn't make it in soon enough to actually get a Goofy bib, but I did get both a half and full marathon bib, so I'm doing the same distance. I just won't get a Goofy medal, but it's fine. The most important part is the race itself, and I'm doing that, and I'm pretty excited. I will have 2 race costumes for this weekend, and if you're not already familiar, the races are lightly themed to stories. Kind of books, stories. The medals are all little books, but the theming is more genres than anything else. So for the first one, it's going to be romance. And I thought about my favorite Disney romances, and I have to say my #1 Disney couple is Wally and Eve. So I'm going to be doing Eve the half marathon. Hold on, we gotta wait for a plane. The runway of San Juan International Airport is literally across the street from my apartment complex. So we gotta hold that guy to take off. All right, so I've started doing something new with my race costumes. I have been doing little sketches, which I've actually really enjoyed because I've parsed out the individual elements of each costume, and then I have a little checkbox so that I can confirm that I have in fact obtained that item or already have it. And that way I know exactly what I need to have, exactly what I need to pack, what to lay out in the morning. And as a high anxiety person, the more organization I can apply to my life, the better. So if you sometimes stress out about your costumes, or you find that you're constantly forgetting what you need, what you already have, I think it might be a really fun exercise. And drawing is fun, even if you're not good at it. Case in point. Here is my first little drawing, and those are all of the bits and pieces that I'm going to have within the course of my costume. Starting from the base, I think. I have a pair of white shiny pants, and then I also have a white long line sports bra, and these are both from Crowned Athletics when they did their big midsummer sale. Oh, and the interesting thing about these is that normally I don't wear white, but these actually, because they have a coating, don't really show sweat. So I'm very excited about that, and this will make a really good base for an Eve costume. I've actually done Eve once before, but I wore all black and just had an Eve hat and the little plant signal? Like a bat signal? No. The little plant emblem, I guess it is, the light up that indicates that she has located said plant. Speaking of which, I have right here. So it's a little pin. I got this off of Etsy. I'll see if I can find it. It was not very expensive. So I'll just put it right there, and there you go. What else is on my list? Ooh, I have purchased some Christmas light necklaces that I'm going to put around my waist because of how Wally decorates her when she's in her dormant mode, so he can tow her around on Earth at the beginning of the movie. I really love that movie. I also have white arm warmers, either to protect against the cold or the sun. We'll see how the weather looks. I also do have a long sleeve white shirt if I need it, but waiting for another plane, and he's gone. What was I saying? Oh yes. If this is not sufficient, I do have a long sleeve white shirt that I used in my Dolly Drew costume during the last Princess Half Marathon weekend, so I can bust that out if needed. But hopefully it's not too cold this year. We'll see what happens. But hopefully it's not too hot either. It's a fine line we gotta walk. What else do I have for this very fancy costume? Oh, I was originally going to, where are my cutouts? Cutouts, where'd you go? Found them. They were hiding under my manatee. Okay, so I was originally going to get some blue barrettes, but I discovered that the Etsy shop that I had found them in does not ship to the US anymore, which is unfortunate, but we persevere. Instead of buying something new, I decided to bust out my handy dandy glitter craft foam again, and I cut out some Eve eyes for myself, just blue glitter, and I used a pencil, oddly enough. I was going to go over it with permanent marker, but it turned out really nicely by itself because, of course, if you look at her eyes in the movie, it's not a sharp, precise line because it's sort of supposed to be digitized, so it's soft, and I think it came out really nicely. So this is her squinty eye when she's happy because, of course, we were talking about when she is in love with Wally. So I either safety pin them, or I guess it's possible I could stick them on top of hair clips of some sort. I'll play around with it. And speaking of hair, I also have these light up glitter scrunchies, which I have not yet removed from the box, but I have 4 of them in here. They're all various shades of pink, but they're a very light pink, and I'm most excited about them in their capacity as being glowy, because that's a very Eve kind of thing, especially with the Christmas lights. So I'm gonna use the 2 paler ones with my Eve costume, and then the pinker ones with my marathon costume. We'll get to that in a second. Is that everything for Eve? Light up scrunchies, hair glitter. Ooh, we haven't talked about hair glitter. I just have this little thing of silvery hair glitter that I haven't actually tried yet, but figure there's no time like the present. Maybe I'll stick some on during one of my remaining training runs if I'm feeling good, if I'm doing it right. But if not, it'll be an exciting new thing to try on race day, because that's always a good idea. It never goes wrong at all. Why not? So yeah, I think that's everything that's going to go into Eve. Light up scrunchies, hair glitter, blue eye things, white sleeves, plant pin, Christmas lights, white pants, white bra. Yep, that's that one. So moving on to my marathon costume. I am, as is so often the case, going down with friends, and we are all going to be doing the marathon, and we've put together a bit of a group costume as led by Becky. She really wanted to do the Poet Mini, right? Yes, she's Poet Mini at the Topolino's character breakfast. At that one, all of the characters are themed to various types of artists. So you have Painter Mickey, Sculptor Donald, Ballerina Daisy, and Poet Minnie. So I'm going to be Ballerina Daisy, and I'm very excited about that because it enables me to use a bunch of stuff I already have, which is a lot of what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to reduce my consumption, so I'm trying to, as much as possible, put together race costumes that I have at least some elements of already, especially if they are base layers, because those take up a lot of space and tend to cost the most money. So I am going to be able to use just a regular sports bra I already have, shorts that I already have, and I also have a skirt and a headband. We'll go all through it, but I've managed to get through my Daisy Duck costume without spending too terribly much money. And here is my little sketch. She looks kind of like a marionette, a really suspicious marionette. So starting from the top, we'll do, what do we have? I have this pink bow that I bought last year from a Sparkle Athletic Black Friday sale. I bought a whole bunch of glitter bows to use for various costumes. And as I hoped, having that many colors means that I can continue using them for different race costumes. So this will be perfect for Daisy Duck's bow. And then underneath of that, I have this feather headband that I use for my seagull costume from the Pixar themed Springtime Surprise a couple years ago. So combined, I think that's a pretty solid Daisy Duck start. What else do we have here? She has a teal wrapper on top that I will not be replicating in full, but I did already have teal Sparkle Athletic race sleeves, so I'm really happy to be able to finally use them. The costume that I bought them for I ended up not doing. That's something I'm trying to move away from, but I have these elements now and I'm applying them elsewhere, which is ideal. Next up is this pink tank that I was able to use an Amazon gift card for. It's pretty basic. It's probably going to show sweat, but I've decided to just roll with it. What are you gonna do? Sometimes ballerinas sweat, but it's glitter, I think. I'm told it's glitter, not sweat. Is that still a thing that we're saying? So it's good. We'll just be extra glittery in this. To further sell the concept of the fact that I am Daisy Duck, I'm going to use my white Sparkle Athletic skirt that I've used for a bunch of costumes. Let's see, what else did I use it for? I think I used it for my seagull. I also used it for Zero at the 2023 Walt Disney World Marathon, and now for Daisy Duck. So perfect. Cost per wear is coming way down. And then of course, over top of it, she has a pink pleated skirt. So I picked this up again using an Amazon gift card. And you can see that on the official Daisy Duck, she has a teal stripe along the bottom of her skirt. So in order to replicate that, I just got some teal tape and I will individually tape the pleats, which will take a minute, but not too much time. And I figure that way I can pull it right off. It should stay. If it doesn't, we'll live. It should be fine. But, you know, we'll at least be going for maximum accuracy. Ooh, I forgot to mention, to go with the white skirt, I also bought this white feather boa that came compressed, and I figured I'll just leave it in that packaging to make it easier to pack when time comes. I'm going to pin it around the bottom hem of the skirt, and that will add to my feathery appearance. Then I will be more avian than ever. Daisy Duck in her ballerina form also has teal leg warmers, so I picked up a pair of those. These are the same as the leg warmers that I used for my rainbow corridor costume during the 2023 Wine and Dine Half Marathon, so I'll pop a picture up so you can see those. Again, they came compressed and I figure why not leave them that way, so they'll be easier to pack. Next up, I'm very proud of this because of course one should never buy running sneakers based on how they look. It should be about function first, not form, but I managed to find my preferred running sneakers in pink. I think they're so pretty. I'm so happy with them, but also they're perfect for Daisy Duck. And then to further replicate her look, I took some of the white bows that I had from my Dolly Drew costume at last year's Princess Half Marathon. No, at last year's Princess 10K, that's when I was Dolly Drew. Of course, the pack that I purchased were white because Dolly Drew's bows are white. Instead of going out and buying more ribbons that I won't really use much in everyday life, I pulled the mid-size ones that I hadn't used, and I, believe it or not, I got them wet, and then I kind of colored them with colored pencil and sort of used the water to do a de facto watercolor. And it's not absolutely perfect, but I think from far away it's going to be totally fine. And I can take the hair clip and slide it into the tongue. Perfect. I love it. I suppose it's entirely possible that the colored pencil might wash out if it rains really hard, but you know, it's a risk I'm willing to take. And then worst case scenario, if it's too cold and I need more on my legs than I already have, I have these white knee socks that even though they're over the knee socks, they do stay up when I run in them. I've tested another pair that I have in red over some pretty long runs and they work fine. It does have this green at the top, which is not on theme, but I can take the tape that I have, the teal tape, and put it over and that'll work. Daisy Duck even has a bracelet that's the same teal color as her wraparound top, so that'll kind of work thematically. I'm telling myself it will. An absolute total, it's freezing worst case scenario, I could always do a quick wash of my white Eve pants in the sink and then reuse them, which would not be ideal, but it'd be fine. All right, so pink bow, feather hairband, pleated skirt, white skirt, pink bows, teal cuffs or socks, white feather bow, teal championship. Yep, that's everything. So those are my 2 Walt Disney World Marathon weekend race costumes for the half and the full marathon. I am, as per usual, super excited for my absolute favorite Run Disney race weekend of the year every year. I so love the marathon. It is my favorite by far. It is the true most wonderful time of the year in my estimation. So I hope to see you there at an amazing race weekend with amazing race costumes, and we're all gonna have an amazing time. Thank you for listening to me ramble about one of my favorite subsections of my very favorite subject, being running and Run Disney, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!